Hey guys, Matt here with Juice Joyrides, and today we're going to be going down to ONYX to try the CTY2 and see how it compares to the Super 73 and some of these other electric bikes I've tried. ONYX. Well, it says ring for service. Good, how's it going, man? I was interested in trying out the CTY2.
Yeah, we got one there.
So top speed is about 40, 45.
On the sport mode, is the green wire plugged in on this one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll be back in just a little bit. Thank you.
The ONYX CTY2 is listed for $3,700. It's a 60-volt bike with a rear hub motor, and it has a 23 amp hour battery. This gives the CTY2 1,380 watt hours of energy, and according to the manufacturer's website, you can get about 60 miles of range at 20 miles per hour. The CTY2 can go about 45 miles per hour, which I did hit in my test ride, and I'll also show you how the bike accelerates from 0 to 37 in my test ride.
First observations on the ONYX CTY2. It feels small and kind of cramped. Like my knees are kind of high up compared to like the Surround. So starting on eco mode, wide open, 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. Brakes are good. We're gonna have to get this thing into normal mode here in a moment. It is on a full charge pretty much. I saw it said like 70 volts. The brakes on these things work really good compared to like the Surround. I'd say that this thing stops so much faster. Yeah, just like they have a really good feel to the brakes. And as far as like the step through frame, honestly, like, I don't know that it's really necessary considering how easy it is for me just to kind of step right on over this bike. But I mean, if you're like a shorter person, I could see it being beneficial. Beautiful wood here. Doesn't actually like really line up perfectly, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna try and actually pedal one of these things. Oh yeah, this thing is not, this is a joke pedaling, obviously. All right, I'm gonna put this thing on normal mode now and give it a full wide open acceleration. 10, 15, 20, and it cuts off at 20. So it's not assisting me anymore above like 16. Like it took me up to 20. The brakes though are so good. All right, it's time to get into sport mode. I'm gonna flip the switch here. So she told me all the way to the left is eco, the middle is normal, and then this would be sport. So let's see what happens if I just floor it. 20, 25, 30, 35, we're moving. All right, time for brakes. Got up to 37. Yeah, it's got like pretty good power. I'm gonna turn around and play here a little bit more. Let's see what we can do here. 30, 35, 40, just about 40. It said 39. The brakes have like a really good feel to them. And this bike, definitely, you can feel it's got some weight. I'm pretty sure this thing weighs more than the Surround. I forget what the actual weight of it is. I'll throw that up on the screen here. Definitely like a kind of cool, like moped-y kind of feel. At my height, I definitely feel just like the form factor of this thing is a little goofy for me, but you know, I'm 6'5", so I'm pretty tall. I weigh 195 pounds too, so to give you an idea about the acceleration. Seat feels, you know, comfy and squishy. I want to go over some bumps and stuff off-road and see what it feels like riding this thing over some like more bumpy terrain. So the acceleration, it's interesting. Like, you know, it's got that hub drive motor. So, I mean, it just doesn't really have the torque of the Sur-Ron. Like when I floor it, it accelerates quickly, but it's not like, you know, you're not popping a wheelie or anything. Like there's no way this thing's gonna pop a wheelie, I don't think. Well, I guess the front end will come off a little bit. All right, I take my words back. Let's see, maybe I can give it like a little bit of a front brake squeeze. Let me let this car pass real quick. If I give it like a little bit of compression and then accelerate, maybe it will pop a wheelie. Let's try a pop a wheelie on the CTY2. All right, compressed brakes, and no, the throttle response, it just doesn't give you that like torque. No. Yeah. Actually, it seems like the best way if you're gonna pop a wheelie is to kind of wait until you're up to like 5 miles an hour, and then it kind of gives you like a second little surge of power. So like rolling at like 5, and then, oh no, like the throttle just kind of like, okay, interesting. All right, let's just kind of cruise along a little bit more here. I mean, as like a moped style bike, I could see the appeal. Like compared to the Super 73, considering the Super 73 RX edition costs like the same amount as this bike, this one, I think this makes so much more sense. Like just cruising along like 35, like it feels effortless going, just cruising at 35. And I'm getting up to 42 now, 43. So this thing definitely carries some speed. I'm gonna go ahead and bust a UE here. Like it seems like this bike really likes to kind of cruise at like 25, 35 miles an hour, no problem. So yeah, this thing's actually kind of cool. I mean, I could see the appeal of this for like riding around town. And honestly, you know, if I was in the market for like the Super 73 RX edition, or you know, like the Super 73 that has a full suspension, compared to the ONYX CTY2, considering they're like the exact same price, like there's no freaking question about it. Like this thing is just way better than the Super 73 in my opinion. Accelerates faster, it looks cooler. Oh, that bump. So the suspension on this thing, I'd have to say the Sur-Ron suspension is far superior in terms of like how squishy it is or whatever, how well it absorbs like bumps. I really want to try and take it like in some grass over here, across the street maybe. Compared to the Sur-Ron, this thing is like silent, makes no noise whatsoever. Like, ugh. Oh yeah, suspension though, Sur-Ron definitely has this thing beat by miles, leaps and bounds. I want to ride it up on this grass. Oh, she told me not to ride it on the sidewalks, and here I am riding it on the sidewalks. Let's see what I could do here. I'll probably ride it up here real quick. I feel like I might get in trouble. Oh yeah, I can climb up the hill. Oh, yeah, you would not want to be like riding this thing off-road too much, I don't think. But it's a street bike, it's for the street. And once you go to sport mode, there's no going back to eco. Whoa. Yeah, this thing's fun, I like it. The thing that I don't like about it is just, I'm kind of too tall for this thing. I just feel kind of goofy on it. Honestly, I feel like, you know, they put the pedals on there just to like make it like a bicycle, but really this thing would be better if like it was like some like just pegs mounted lower down here rather than having them sitting like this, because it kind of just, I don't know, it makes it just feel like a little bit too small for me. She said no more than 30 minutes. It's been 13. Maybe I can take out the other one too, the RCR. So like acceleration is honestly like really sufficient in terms of like a commuter. Coming from the Sur-Ron, it just doesn't have that like thrilling launch where, you know, you twist that throttle and the front end's gonna come off the ground. So I kind of miss that component of it, but I really like that this thing is like silent while riding it. So I kind of wish I had like a full hand grip throttle instead of like the quarter twist or half twist throttle, where only a portion of the hand grip is for the throttle. I don't know what I should do here. This guy's... I mean, you can definitely feel it's got like weight to it, but at the same time, it feels just like kind of tossable as well. Like the counter steer feels nice on it. Once you get up to like 20, you just push on that handlebar and like kind of will rock back and forth. See what we can get up to, top speed again. "45." I mean, I don't think you need to go any faster than 45 on one of these electric motorcycle e-bikes. Honestly, the acceleration really does feel perfectly fine on this bike. I think I was just so used to the instant torque of the Sur-Ron pulling that front wheel off the ground initially. I felt a little let down, but now that I'm like riding it, I get it. I actually find it kind of annoying how far the wheel can turn, and those bars definitely bump up against the metal. The fork hits the metal. Interesting. So how does this thing compare to the pedal electric I just reviewed about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago? I'd have to say I definitely go with the ONYX. Honestly, the ONYX CTY2, unless you need that all-wheel drive for like driving off-road, for like riding off-road in like sand, because all-wheel drive is basically the only way you're really gonna be able to ride like on the beach in the sand. So here we go from a stop. Just that first like 10 mile an hour happens pretty slow, but after that, I mean, it gets up to speed, and it really likes those like mid-range speeds. Running from like 10 miles an hour. Oh, my phone just tipped over apparently. Jeez. So I think the battery on this is kind of small, 23 amp hours, and for a bike that weighs this much, I would expect the range to kind of not be, you know, excellent. 23 amp hour. The Sur-Ron has a 32 amp hour battery. Let me get up here in the shade and show the dashboard and stuff a little bit here. So it shows you it's down to 66.3 volts. I started at 70 volts, and yeah, battery life is down to about, it gives you a few different things on the display here. And then your headlight is here, turn signals, horn, USB port to charge something if you want. That's kind of a nice feature. The different modes, on off switch, and the throttle. Nice big brake levers like you'd find on a motorcycle. Headlight is pretty good looking. I like the headlight. Front suspension, not a lot of travel. Rear suspension is fine. And obviously the chain and all that is kind of just a joke. See how easy this thing is to pick up. Oh, kind of heavy. I wonder if the throttle works when the kickstand is down. Oh yeah, it does.
How was it?
Oh, it's cool. I like it. Where does the key go, or is there?
So the key, this is for the battery.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this is for so like to turn. Well, normally I don't. Oh, it does. Perfect. So you turn it off.
Yeah, I turn it off.
And then
okay.
turn it on. The battery.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So one chirp turns off the battery completely.
Oh, okay. So it's just
And
like a
then-
push button. Gotcha.
And then 2
All right.
turns the battery back.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and then you can also push the alarm, and
Yeah.
then whenever someone moves it, it goes off.
Oh, nice.
So it's just security
yeah,
precautions.
that's a good feature.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? ONYX CTY2 or Super 73 or something else like Ariel Rider? I don't know. Leave your comments below. Click subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in my next video.